So this is what you are then met with. And so here are my projects. And you can see that some of these are created by Jim, by Bella, by other people in our organization. And that's for that. Like we really want to improve or support collaboration. It's one of our core values. So what I thought I would do is to just show you how I'll kick off a project. Okay, so I'll start here. I'll choose English. And what I'd like to do is, so when we come in, we have our workspace. So, oh, sorry. So what I wanted to do was to ideate. So choose English. And then when we come in here, we'll have our workspace. And on that, we have our brief on the top. We can click here later on. I'll go into that and we can work more on the brief. Here is our plan, meaning this is our project, the activities and the initiatives. And then on the side, that's where Tilda lives. So that's our AI chat. And Tilda will always guide you through the starting point. And in this case, I wanted to ideate on a new project. And what I have here is a company called Sunflower. And this company is about to implement a time tracking system. So I have some documents that I'll share with Tilda because we've done this Sunflower company have done this pre-study about this time tracking software called FlowTrack. And I also, so I've shared the rollout here, which is just some background information about the target users and what the usage looks like today. And then also we have our company values and purpose. I'm going to go ahead and upload those. Tilda will read it. She'll come back to me with some suggestions on how I would like to use this. And you can see she will always give us these buttons that I can easily just click. But in this case, what I want her to do is to fill out the brief based on okay. So she'll now start to read the briefs and start to gather the data that she can find about the background and where we're going. And one thing that we work hard to make sure is that we put the user in charge. So we call these handshakes. So when you work with Copilot or ChatGPT, like you get an instant response or an instant answer all the way with the solution. And what we want is that Tilda says, is this what you want? Like, are we doing this way or that way? So she won't just go ahead and do it. She will always check, is this what you want me to do? And I can go ahead and preview those. I can choose some and not others. But in this case, I'll just go ahead and choose click. So if I expand the brief, you can see that Tilda has, based on the things that I had in the documents, she has filled out the current state with the background, with the starting point. She's identified the target audience, stakeholders, and she's also learning about the desired state, where we're going with this. And she's starting to put words on the barriers to the behaviors and enablers of the behaviors. But here you can see in the documents that I shared, she couldn't find the barriers, so she's just left that empty. And then in the document, she picks up that it's a 3-month time frame. Actually, I think that that's a bit short. I think that this will probably take maybe more like 12 months because it's a big thing to do. And then she's suggested here some time investments. Let's see if these can last. I think maybe they look a little bit low, but let's see. So this is what the brief looks like. So she will come up with, based on what I uploaded, of course, you can edit these on your own. You can improve them, or you can have a conversation with Tilda about the brief. Anything you wanted me to add here, Bella or Jim?
Maybe just say that if you don't have a document, Tilda will ask you questions and guide you to think through what is the actual change we want to achieve here, and where are we? What is the current state? So it might either it's a coaching conversation or it's you jumping ahead because you already have maybe some notes from a meeting, or you have something from a client or from an internal stakeholder.
Good. And of course, you can upload anything, meeting notes or of something that you've done before, or just have that conversation with Tilda in the chat. She will always guide you to what she needs. Okay, so when I feel happy about my brief, and here just bear in mind, because the brief is satisfying to be in, so it's easy to spend a lot of time in the brief, but limit the time in the brief. But when you feel, okay, we're good now, like I'm happy with the brief, you go back to the plan, and then you can ask Tilda to create a high-level flow for your initiative. So she will then use what she has in the brief and suggest a program for us. And again, we have the handshakes. I can choose if I want to go into that or if I want to edit it. Okay, so I'm happy with this suggestion here that she says, so we'll go ahead and apply that. So what Tilda creates then is a linear list of activities. So in this case, we'll have a kickoff communication, a leadership briefing. So all of these are basically touch points with the participants, or in this case, people who are touched by this initiative. And you can also see that we have now our behavior change score, which is pretty good. 66 is a good number. And you can click on that to improve it. You can learn more about it. You can understand the science behind it. I know we have some nerds in the room who would love to sort of dig deeper into that. And then you can also see that each of these touch points or activities have a score to it. So they have medium impact, large impact, small impact. Okay, and now we have our brief, we have our plan, and now we can go super deep. So let's say here we have in our leadership briefing, here we can see that Tilda suggests that we do a briefing session for leaders to provide them with talking points. So what I would love for Tilda to do, she gives me some suggestions here, continue developing this intervention. So let's do that. She reads through the document, brings back everything that she knows from the brief, and then suggests. Okay, so we're not going to get stuck in that, but what I really want to show you is we have now our design details. So we have a step-by-step. And then what I wanted to show you is we can go even deeper. So we can create material for each of these steps or for the interaction in itself. So let's say here, we want a leader communication rollout plan. I can also just type Tilda what I want her to do. And she will provide me with this rollout. It could also be a script. It could also be a PowerPoint outline, whatever it is that you need.